Coming to you from W.P. Grier Middle School, I'm Todd Hagans, and our conversation today features Christi Jolley. She is an 8th grade language arts teacher here at Grier and also the 2025-26 Gaston County Schools Teacher Assistant of the Year. Christi, it's great to see you.
Thank you. Good to see you too.
So I'm going to explain how you can be the Teacher Assistant of the Year as well as a teacher.
Yes.
So when you were nominated last school year for that award, you were a Teacher Assistant.
Yes.
And of course you won the award, and last spring as well you completed the requirements for your degree program and your teaching license.
Yes.
So you are a licensed teacher for this school year.
Yes.
And we're so proud of all that you've accomplished. Now, I know that your connections to Gaston County School, they go back.
Yes.
Go back to your days when you were at Sherwood Elementary School as a parent volunteer. So you've gone from being a parent volunteer to a classroom teacher. Tell us
Yes.
about that journey.
Okay, so when my son went to kindergarten, I of course volunteered like moms do. I was involved in PTO and did all those things. And then I saw the needs in other classrooms, so I would volunteer outside of just his classroom, but I still had a little one at home, so I just came when I could. And the principal would say, "You're here so much, we should hire you, or we should pay you." And I said, "Oh, that'd be great," but I wasn't quite ready because I still had one at home. And then she was 2 years behind, and I had volunteered by then in the EC classroom a lot and in other classrooms as needed. And we had a parent involvement specialist at Sherwood that was amazing. So I would either assist her or I'd be at her events, and again was active with the PTO. So when that position came open, the parent involvement specialist left, the principal said, "You know, I'm serious, I'd like to pay you." And I said, "Okay, I'd love that because my kids are here anyway." So I was parent involvement specialist for many years, still on PTO. And then that position got cut and I was moved to teacher assistant. And I was teacher assistant for, I don't know, maybe many years, maybe 7, 8 years at Sherwood, and or longer than that probably. And I really enjoyed that too, getting to work with the small groups. I was blessed to work with teachers that helped train me to be a co-teacher. I had small groups, or I did whole group while they did small group. I did parent-teacher conferences with them, so they really didn't realize the foundation they were building for me at that time. It was all kind of just a perfect way to build your career if you wanted to know where you were going, which of course I didn't. I loved being a TA, and I still volunteered, did PTO. When my kids came to Grier, then I was involved at Grier. I supported the athletics, and I was on the PTO board, superintendent's advisory board at that time. And then when my kids went to Ashbrook, I went to Ashbrook. I did the PTO there. I did Booster Club. I was on the board of Booster Club. And I always went to SIT meetings. I started that at Sherwood because it was really interesting too to be part of that school improvement. It helped me understand data and things like that we look at that now helps me so much as well. And so at Sherwood, Grier, and Ashbrook was my kids' path. It was my husband's. He grew up here, so it means a lot to me to be part of the Gaston County Schools family. And I would not have expected to be a teacher. That's not my original plan, but it just kind of, it's just through the grace, I guess.
It happened. And
it happened,
and we're so glad that it happened.
Well, thank
and it's amazing to see your connections to Sherwood and to Grier and to Ashbrook.
Yes, love those schools. Yeah.
It really is amazing. It's a great journey, and to see that you have advanced to being a classroom teacher here at Grier. Last year, as a teacher assistant and as the Teacher Assistant of the Year for Gaston County Schools, how was it for you to win that honor? How did that make you feel?
Well, I knew it was going to be my last year, obviously, as a teacher assistant because I've been going through my, schooling. And every year I was able to be Teacher Assistant of the Year at Sherwood, I was always nominated and won for Sherwood, but I had never won for the county. So it was kind of serendipitous. Like, it's my last year of that, and then I won it. So it was really special because I knew I wouldn't be a teacher assistant again. So that was really a special honor. And to do it in something so new, like moving to middle school from elementary, to be recognized for that really meant a lot.
So you know the work of a teacher assistant.
Yes.
What is that work? What does it involve? And why is that work so important to student success?
It is so important, especially I'll say from elementary, start there. We really, in my opinion, as a state, need to bring back the K-1-2 TAs that were full-time when my kids were there, because the kids come in and a lot of them are not prepared, and having one adult for 20 kids or 18 kids or 24 kids is a lot. So the TA is that huge support for the teacher who's trying to teach all levels, because you have some kids that are already reading or know their alphabet versus kids who'd never been exposed to that. So the TA helps fill those gaps so the teacher can work with all those levels, and then the TA supports doing the same. And so in elementary, it's just building that foundation. It's like having a firm, strong foundation with that TA help. I think they're the backbone, in my opinion. And they do so many other things. We have so many duties. You know, I was morning duty at Sherwood. I loved it. I was bus duty in the afternoons. You know, they're support. They're there, and they're the faces that the kids see all the time. The teacher is in that classroom, and they may see them, but as the TA, I saw every kid every single morning, and building those relationships. And it's so fun now to be here, and I have some of the same kids. It's awesome. So it is important. And then in middle school, the TAs that we have are, again, helping support that where these kids have gaps and need that extra help.
You have that support, and you also have that extra set of eyes in the classroom to help notice where students may be struggling, where they need some extra attention, where they need some help. That is always very important, because you can't assume that one teacher, one adult in the classroom can handle it all. That's an amazing expectation in itself. So now, officially, as a classroom teacher, what is it like to have your own classroom and for you to be a licensed teacher?
Yes, I love it. It is all the things that I loved about interacting as a TA, I still have in the classroom as a teacher. So I love having my own classroom. I love knowing that this is my space, and the kids, how I can set the tone in my room, and the kids know it's a safe space and a place to learn, and but have fun and ask questions and feel comfortable asking questions and allowing themselves to not know everything, because middle school's hard, and it's hard for them sometimes to feel vulnerable enough to ask a question or show something they don't know. So I love having that environment where I get really excited when they ask a question, or when we have differing answers on something, I get really animated and excited, because I'm like, oh, we got two, so now we can have academic conversation. So it's just been a joy.
So we're in your classroom here at Grier.
Classroom.
It's a new classroom,
Yes.
a new school building.
Beautiful.
So what is it like to be in your classroom? If we were a student here, explain how your classroom works. What would we see taking place in your classroom?
Okay, so at the door, I greet you at the door, and we come in, and I tell them I'm so excited about what we're doing today, and they usually say, you say that every day, but I am. And so they come in, they sit down, I have helpers that hand out the notebooks. We get started. I have every day a motivational message in our agenda for every class, and we go over it real quick, what to expect today, what to expect to the rest of the week, and then we get into the meat of it, of whether it's group structure teaching or independent teaching, and I'm calling the group. So, and that's pretty much the flow, and then we stop toward the end, we pack up, and we go.
So it's language arts.
Yes.
And so that's English and reading and social studies.
A little bit. So we do something really fun, and maybe other schools do. I'm just familiar with Grier, but we do where we incorporate a lot with our text that we use. Some days it will be a science text. Some days it'll be social studies. And in the beginning they'd say, why are we reading science in here? I said, isn't that exciting? It's great. It's supporting Mr. Brown, or oh, this it is. Yes, it's going to help you in Mr. McNeil's class. So yes, we do. We incorporate it all, so they're getting that support and getting the same information in different ways.
So how do you make language arts, English, literature, how do you make all of that fun and interesting and relatable for middle school students? Because like you just said, I imagine they say, why do we have to read this?
Yes.
Why do we have to do this?
I love making that text to self connection. So sometimes it will be something we're reading and I'll say, wait, I think did you see that on the news, or something that's happened that brings it back? Or did you see where this happened recently? We just recently did a field trip to the Shield Museum, and we were talking about climate change and hurricanes and things, and that was so relatable to what just happened with Hurricane Helene. So making them have those connections, and those are those light bulb moments. When you make that connection, then they connect with the text, then they want to read more. And that happens a lot. We'll do excerpts from text, and they'll well, what happens? What's the end? And well, I want to read the end. And we're just doing certain parts of it, to get that standard. So they do tend to, and I'm very excitable and animated, and so they tend to buy into, because they know that that's how I am, and they tend to, 98% of them jump in there with me and get excited. And sometimes they ask questions just to, because they love for me to hear them ask questions and be thinking. But I love those light bulb moments when they're like, oh, that reminds me of my grandma keeps her Christmas tree in the attic, like in the story, or, So yeah, pretty much just making it relate to them. They have to know where it connects or where it's going to connect in the future.
So you spend all year with your students.
Yes.
And as a teacher, you get to the end of the school year, and you have set goals, and you have things that you want your students to achieve. So when we get to the end of the school year, where do you want your students to be?
I am big on focusing on growth, because a lot of our students do have gaps. We have a lot of students that are excelling, but no matter where you are, you can make growth. And that is huge for me. So I like for them to see constantly that they're growing. Sometimes they get discouraged. I only went up 3 points on this assessment, but is that growth? That's what we're looking for, is growth. Sometimes they make leaps, 20 points, and they're just thrilled. So at the end of the year, I want them to see from the beginning of the year to the end that they grew, that they learned more, and they're more comfortable in what they've learned. And also, school is part of social too. I want them to see that they grew as a person, that they grew, socially in how they interact, how they handle situations, and that they want to own their future. Because teaching 8th grade was very important to me. When I was asked, did I want to come to Grier, I was like, if I can be in 8th grade. Because to me, it's so important. 8th grade is crucial to, especially with all the school choice we have in Gaston County. They need to know when they leave here that they can plan for themselves, and it's up to them to do that, to look at the choices and to set that path so that their future is already so bright ahead of them, and that nobody can tell them they can't do something, because they can actually do it in public school. They don't have to wait until they graduate. So that's huge for me.
And I wanted to ask you about the stress that's on you, knowing that you've got students, you've got to prepare them for high school.
Yes, it is. I mean, it's stressful, but I have 2 children that went through this, and I rely on those stories a lot with them. When my son was in this grade, this is what we did, and you have more opportunities than he did. And it is a lot of stress, and I do try and talk with parents a lot too. I've already started reaching out to some that I've seen kids showing interest in certain things. Like, I think they would be great for this Choice Academy. Have you all thought about this? And these are the open house dates, or be looking for this. Make sure you apply. You can apply for as many as you want. So it is stressful, but at the same time, that's one of the reasons I love what I do, because I want to help young people succeed, and that's been the whole thing. And I've helped a lot of kids when my kids were in high school with things for getting ready for college or a secondary, trade school or military. So being able to do it here and touch this many kids, I have 120 students, that's huge to me. And it is a weight, but it's also a joy that I get to be part of their journey.
So if your students were here with us, what would they say about you? If we were interviewing them,
yes,
what would they say?
Some would say you do too much. That's one of their favorite things. You do too much, because I expect them to be doing what we're supposed to be doing, and they think I should overlook little things sometimes. They say, are you always as happy? Are you always so jolly? They love to use my name in that, because I am. And they say when they start to come in class, I'm like, oh, you're going to love this story? And they do. They say, Miss Jolley, you said that yesterday. I was like, but didn't you love it? And so I'm very excitable, and they would probably say that. And I go to all their sporting events. I don't miss a game. With our fields not being done here, it's hard when it's 2 sports that aren't here. I have to choose that on that day, but they know I'm going to be in the stands rooting them on, or at a chorus concert. She's everywhere.
We're at the new Grier.
Yes.
This school opened last August, the building, and now the fields, the football field and the softball and the baseball field, all of that is under construction. What's it like to be here in a brand new building and know that you've got a great sports complex? It will be here very soon.
Yes,
What is all of that like? What kind of energy has that created for Grier?
It's been a lot, and it's very exciting, and a lot of people have come to Grier who maybe were at charter schools or private schools because they see what an amazing building it is, what's being built next door. It's been fun to watch all of the development, like how are they going to get that? And then the next day it's done. As far as getting dirt out or getting the ground lowered, it's been a lot of fun. And being in this new building is so nice from where I was. I loved my classroom before with all the windows, but this is we're just in a little quad, and our kids just transition right here. It's helped with structure. It's helped with so much because there's not all this going up and down halls, going from one side of the building to another. We're all just right here together, and we just circle right here. We have our own bathrooms right here. Everything is so nice and clean, and the cafeteria is amazing. The cafeteria is so nice. So yeah, it's been, and the gym, it's been a great experience. And all the different stairwells, you go to lunch one way and you leave for the day another way. So I'm still finding my way around some days.
So when you were in the old building, I know that there were certain windows that you could watch the construction of this building. And so now you're in the new building and you're watching construction take place for the athletic fields.
Yeah, full circle.
It's an amazing, once everything is said and done, the campus will be an amazing school campus right here in what I say is the heart of Gastonia.
It really is. It really is. We got the library right here and the museum, and we're just right here. Yeah, it is.
And this school, they've introduced the STEAM Academy here at the school as well. So that's very exciting for Grier. A lot of great things happening here at Grier. So growing up, did you see yourself as a person who wanted to be a teacher? Or what was your ideas for when I grow up, I want to be?
Yeah, I mean, I did like every other little girl. I had school with my stuffed animals, you know, my friends, we played school. But I always knew I would be in some type of service. I love helping people. And then that kind of transitioned into this. It wasn't me saying, oh, I want to be a teacher. I think probably I saw more counseling, but whatever I would do, I would be in service because I love helping people. And this just kind of came along. It had a plan for me more than I had the plan originally. So
during your time in Gaston County Schools, why did you feel like it was important to work toward becoming a teacher? Why is that job so important?
I fell in love with it, being able to make a difference and connect places where I saw gaps for some kids, that they didn't have that. So I wanted to be that. And going through it with my own kids and seeing some kids, due to family circumstances or whatever, being told, oh, you can't do that or you won't do this. It was my personal goal to make sure every child knew they could do what they set their mind to doing, that they had the resources, that the school would find the way to help them do that. So I think for me it was so crucial because you do make a difference. And they say I do too much, whatever, but I hope what they remember in the end is how much I truly cared about them being successful and doing what they wanted to do in their life. And it's up to them.
As one of our Of the Year winners for Gaston County Schools, what is your advice for your colleagues?
Oh gosh, I have amazing colleagues, so they really don't need advice from me, but we're such a tight team, and it really makes a difference in the teaching realm that we work together, we support each other, we talk to parents together. We're a united front, so you can't play that mom versus dad game. We are such a unit, and the kids know it, and it's just an amazing to be able to have teammates like that you work with, that you would want your children to be in their classroom.
So reflecting on your time with Gaston County Schools, what do you enjoy the most about being a part of our school family?
Relationships. I love that Gaston County Schools is big enough to have all the things we offer, but small enough to be a family, that you see people everywhere you go that you know or that know your children. Or when I go places, I'm seeing kids now coming back and teaching in Gaston County Schools, which gives me goosebumps, and coaching, that were in school, you know, that I taught, or I was their TA, or I was their, you know, PTO person, or, you know, helped them with fundraisers. That is so awesome to see the kids that want to stay in this community. And I encourage these kids, one day that will be you. I want you to make a difference in this community. And that's probably the biggest thing to me, is that Gaston County Schools is like a big family. And knowing that we check in on each other, we're there for each other when it's good things, and we're there for each other when we need to support each other.
Christi Jolley, 8th grade English teacher here at Grier Middle School. We appreciate you. We congratulate you on all that you've achieved and accomplished, and we thank you for being a part of our conversation.
Thank you so much for being here.